We told you last week about the tragic story of a Montreal woman whose scarf got caught in an escalator and strangled her. Well, Global News has learned Quebec's regulations and inspections of escalators aren't as stringent as they could be, and the victim's husband wants someone held accountable. Our Mike Armstrong spoke with him today.
This escalator hasn't carried passengers since it carried Naima Rarudi to her death. In the 5 days since the accident, flowers have piled up outside the station. This is the first time her husband has seen the memorial. I have to know the truth, he says. How did it happen? The accident last Thursday seems too bizarre to be true. Rarudi had just dropped her 2 young sons off at school and was headed to do volunteer work. There were no witnesses, but police say she was strangled, likely by her hijab, when it was caught in the escalator.
I was lying over here.
It's not a story Joyce Ostroff finds hard to believe. She says her coat was caught in the same escalator in December. She was stuck and being strangled.
I really thought that I may not live to leave that station.
Ostroff was able to pull her coat free from the escalator, but she says something went wrong. Montreal Metro Station escalators are supposed to have safety features that stop them when something gets stuck.
I will tell you firsthand that it absolutely does not.
Question is, what went wrong?
Brent McMillan is with the union that represents escalator technicians in Canada, though not the ones that work in the subway system. McMillan says over a decade in the U.S., there were 62 fatalities. Escalators, he says, are heavy, complex, and unforgiving. He's seen everything from shoes to body parts get caught in gaps.
There's a 1/4 inch on one side, there's a 1/4 inch on the other side of the step, there's a 1/4 inch between the steps.
There's stuff that can happen.
There's stuff that can happen, yeah.
Now, one issue may be standards. The emergency button at the metro station is on the floor. The escalator dates back to the 1980s. Newer escalators have more visible buttons. They also tend to have more emergency features, broken step sensors, missing step sensors.
Newer units have all these safety devices. Older units don't have any of them.
Regulations are different from province to province, but Quebec appears to be one of the most lax. There are no mandatory inspections. In fact, there are only 16 inspectors province-wide handling escalators, elevators, and ski lifts. Ontario has 5 times as many inspectors, and it's tightening its rules. By next year, all older models will have to conform to the current codes. In Quebec, older models are grandfathered. Last week's accident, McMillan says, happened in a province that isn't doing enough.
It could have happened many ways, and the unfortunate part is it could happen again.
Scherkaoui, Hananana's wife's body will be turned over to him tomorrow. The funeral will be Friday. His quest for answers will likely last much longer. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.